Yo, we're live. I hope the music's okay. I can't exactly check it. But, yeah. We're gonna be, Actually, I'm gonna really quick check and see how my sound is. Okay, the music isn't distracting, that's what I was checking for. Okay. So, yeah. Gonna be drawing some stuff. Got chat up on the phone. And let's get started. I don't know how I want to pose Giratina yet, but I know I want to draw it. Like, I don't know if I want to go for like this sort of vibe or like a kind of like this sort of. I don't think that's good actually. Never mind. Ignore that. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I've never fully drawn Giratina before. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I've drawn it before, just not good or recently or fully. I'd say that's generally accurate for the shape, I think. Maybe a little shorter on the tail or something. I don't know, it'll look nicer when it's shaded in, but still. No, I still don't like the position. It's whatever. Alright, general shape. We got the general shape going. Structuring claws is weird. Not gonna lie. It's like the weirdest part of doing this. Cause like they're, even in the actual like reference photo, they're just like weird. And I want it to look more natural than it is there, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it off. Because I gotta make it look like there's foreshortening there without making it look bad. Like, it's just weird. It's just a weird shape. Maybe it'll make more sense if I put the other one there. Because then it's like, oh yeah, now you can tell. But even then, I don't know. I mean, kinda. There's still something off about this, and I don't know what it is yet. So I'm gonna move it until it looks right. And I did want this to be more like facing the viewer, so hold on. Maybe it's because it's more shaped like this. Kinda. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. But now it doesn't look as foreshortened. Ugh! It'll probably make more sense once there's shading, but still it's bothersome. It's just bothersome. This is why I hate doing any sort of claws, because they don't look right unless you have like this kind of vibe, like an actual like claw foot. And even then, like, this isn't great, but at least it's something. This is just stump with claws attached to it. And it's gross. Like, what is the structure of that? I don't even know. I'm gonna look again. 'Cause it's just a stump with claws sitting there. Like, you see what I mean? Like, even here, it doesn't look attached to the actual body. But I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'm sure there's an actual way to do it that I'm just, like, not getting. It's just weird. Like, maybe if I make it seem like there's, like, skin around, but that doesn't look right either. Neither does this position, though. Hold on. This needs to be more... I don't know. Giratina is a weird Pokemon, to be honest. It's so unnatural, and trying to make it look natural is just rough. Like, I feel like I made the body too big. Like, it's not very slender. I might have to restart this whole thing. Or maybe I could just, like, extend this downwards to make it... Let's see. Let's see. Does this work? Well, let's see if the shoulders are technically here. It's got very low shoulders. Because, like, the knee is here. Or, like, the elbow joint. Which would put, like, the hip and or shoulder, like, here. But then what's all this space? Like, that's just nothing. Let's see, because, like, here's the shoulder. But then here's the knee. And I guess it kind of works. It's just really weird. So, like, the shoulder is basically in where the rib cage is. Giratina's anatomy doesn't make any sense. Which, I mean, it's a Pokemon, so who cares? But also, I am upset. Because as an artist, I need to care. At least a little. Like, if I was gonna do this and make it into, like, a 3D graphic, I would need to know some of how the anatomy works. But, like, the legs are right up against each other. Like, there's no room for it to move. Because it has 6 legs that are basically up against each other. Alright, new plan. I'm getting a little too critical of Giratina's actual structure. So we're just gonna pretend that structure doesn't matter. Like, totally doesn't matter. We're gonna move stuff around. It's not gonna make sense, and everybody will be happier. Like, legit, that's under there, like, bruh. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. That's what it boils down to. I just do not know how to do this. I thought, oh, it'll be easy. It's just gonna be like breaking down an animal, and the answer is no, it's not. Because, like, there is no spine. Not really. Like, there is, but it's not correct. Because, like, the bend in the back looks like it should be here. But really, like, here's the skull. Here's the big neckline. Here's the bend of the back. Here's where the ribcage is supposed to be. Here's the hips. Then where do all these leg bones come in? Like, what is the hip connected to? Where's the ribcage if the shoulders are right here? Like, it's just gross. And that's not to knock the Pokemon designers. I love Giratina's design. It's just that structural-wise, it doesn't make any sense. Also, its wings come out of its neck instead of, like, the shoulder where they should. It's literally, they start here and that's neck. Shoulders are down here. This is what happens when you take anatomy classes. You can't have fun anymore. It's just all broken down into bits, and now it's like, oh no. Nothing makes sense anymore because you're trying to make it make sense. Also, for Giratina's weight, those wings would not work, but I guess it's also a Pokemon, so, like, floating can happen, I guess. But if you would want it to actually fly... Even for breaking it down into, like, a proper, like, face skull shape doesn't work. Like, it doesn't, because it's not. Like, this is a big oval instead of, like, this nice lizard type shape, because, you know, dragon. But, like, okay, here's where the eye needs to go. So if I break it up like that, maybe, hang on, we might get somewhere with this. Somewhere that will make at least a little bit more sense, maybe? So here's the other eye. Right, and then this would come down here. This would come over here. And then... Ah, there we go. Okay. It's better. It's not great, but it's better. it's got like these ring claws around its neck. like the more you just look at it for a while, it's like, that isn't how that should go. Like, here's the ring claws, I guess. Which actually, this does fit here, at least. And then this pattern for the neck down to the stomach. And then you gotta get the spikes on the wings. There's a lot of spikes with Giratina. Thinking about it now, it's like, huh, why did they add so many spikes to him? Like, is it just for design appeal, or is it, do they serve a purpose? I doubt it, but it's like he's got spikes on the wings, he got spikes on his face, he's got spikes around his neck, he's got spikes around his, like, legs. Spiky claws. Like, they really said triangles everywhere. Basically, what I'm trying to say is Giratina is a bunch of circles and triangles, if you really break it down. I'm gonna get up because I actually have a little Giratina figurine that I'm gonna turn to for some reference here. Because technically, even though wings should go like this, they don't. Like, they're literally looking at it right now, the wings literally come out of Giratina's neck. I cry. Also, why do they look bigger on the figurine I have than they do in the actual in-game screenshot that I have? Like, this is literally Pokemon Black and White. Its wings are so tiny. But on my figurine, they're about this size. Which, if you adjust for the screenshot, is like out to here, generally. So you would have like this, kind of. Instead of whatever this is in the actual thing. It's just weird. It's just weird. I guess they were trying to make up for the room spacing for Black and White. I feel like even in Diamond and Pearl, the wings are bigger. Although I could be wrong, to be fair. I've never had a Giratina in the actual games it originates from. So I honestly don't know. Design features. Let's put a bunch of circles around Giratina's legs. Give it 3 stripes up the back, because that'll look cool, right? It definitely won't be an inconvenience to an artist who doesn't know what they're doing later in time. This just makes it look even less like a realistic 3D object, like a 3D creature. Why? Why do they do this to you, Giratina? I made the body too big still. I cut down and the body's still too big. He's too chunky. He's too much of an absolute unit. So now I'm gonna take this away, and we've got this, which isn't great. It's just not good. It's just plain not good. Even now, Giratina still might be too much of a challenge for me to draw. The last time I tried to draw Giratina, it was not good. Like I said, I've never fully drawn out a Giratina, but I have done a full sketch. And it was just like this, except a little less of an understanding of structure was there. Yeah, I might have to scrap this and redo it in a different position, cause yikes. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna step away from the chat I have on my phone right now for a minute. And I'm going to look up a couple clips, cause I gotta see how it moves. The anime might help me. Oh, I remember watching, like, the bootleg Giratina movie on YouTube. I mean, really, even in the anime, unless it's in its other form, like the Rift form, Giratina just looks clunky. It looks like a big clunky dinosaur. It's really weird. I love how the clips I'm looking at are literally the Giratina and Shaman movie. But I mean, for real. What is that blending of CGI? Eek. Also, I'm starting to realize how little Giratina in the form I'm trying to draw it in is shown here. Like, it's a lot of the, like, more serpentine form, which I don't remember the name of. Alright. Here's an actual anime clip that I'm trying to look at. That lasts for all of 2 seconds, and it's mostly the upper body portion of Giratina. Wow, they really said we're not gonna make Giratina move ever. Okay, lesson learned. Drawing Giratina is hard. Even for the actual animators, because they really said we're only gonna draw it from, like, in this form. We're only gonna draw it either not moving, or from, like, here, so that you don't see the 6 legs. Cool, great, fantastic. Thank you, Pokemon animators. Okay, let me see if I can find fan art that might help the situation, because goodness gracious. Again, a lot of the more serpentine form is what I'm getting. What's the deal with the serpentine form? I don't even know the difference. Like, what is it, just like being in the Rift versus the actual world? there's so much Riftform fan art because it's easier structure-wise, I bet you. I bet you that's why there's so much more. It does kind of look cooler also, but it just makes more sense than this. Maybe they should have just given Giratina that one form and that was it. Like, why bother having it switch? Why not just make it a big snake with wings? A big shadow snake with wings. I mean, really, they could have just done that. And that probably would have taken less time, even budget-wise. They really could have said, alright, we're gonna make Giratina, which is gonna be a big, like, shadow monster for Pokemon Platinum. What are we gonna do for this, you may be asking? Well, we're gonna give it 6 wings. Then we're gonna make it a big snake with, like, 2 beady little eyes. And, like, the scariest thing you've ever seen. With, like, spikes everywhere. And that's it. No need for stupid dinosaur structure with 6 legs. No, no. We're just gonna give you 6 wings on a snake and call it a day. But no! Oh well, it's whatever. It's whatever. I was gonna try and draw my baby Giratina, but I guess not. That's it, stream's over. No, I'm just kidding. Stream's not over. But I am gonna try and draw a different Pokemon. Because Giratina in this form... Yikes. So let me take a second. Get the image out. I'm gonna get another image in. Alright, ignore this very big screenshot. Or capture, rather, of my DS screen. We're gonna go for Articuno. Articuno is... I guarantee you Articuno is gonna be leagues easier to draw on a technicality level. Because it's just... It's a bird. Alright? It's a bird with a ribbon tail. I mean, literally, I can even see, like, the shape of how its body works better. Like, legitimately. Like, I get it, Game Freak. You wanted cool Pokemon, so you said, let's make it complicated. And I get it. Complicated works. Most of the time. Like, it does. Giratina looks cool. Giratina looks epic. But also, why you gotta make it like that? You know how I said earlier, oh, I hate drawing claws, unless they're like claw feet? This is what I mean. Sort of. Like, this is way easier to manage. And then here's the shoulder. See, like, you can actually break it up and it's basically how a bird works. Like, literally, there's the shoulder, there's the legs. Here's where the rib cage would be. Here's where the hips would be if it were a person. Or if you broke it down into that structure. And then you just... It literally gives you the breakdown of this part as well. Because, like, here's the wings. Wow! Oh my god, it's like a structure or something. It's almost like they gave Articuno more structure that makes sense to an actual animal. Because, you know, bird. I'm sorry, I keep, like, low-key raging. But... still! There's something up with this and I don't know what it is. Probably... I don't know, I'll figure it out. I don't know, I'll figure it out. There we go. Wowie. Look at that. What do we think of that? Eh? I think this is much better. At least it's going further than, Giratina. There are some minor adjustments that I need to make, but overall not too bad. Not too bad for a sketch. So, in some Pokemon news, I keep hearing about, like, the supposed leaks and, like, information on the new, possibly, like the new unofficially mentioned, like, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, which is, like, it's all very unofficial right now, but I keep hearing, like, oh, we're gonna get news about it on the 27th, because it's Pokemon Day, and that's why we didn't get any news in the Nintendo Direct. And it's like, I really hope so. I've been playing so much Diamond recently, like, just for, like, nostalgia's sake, and it's so much fun, but it would be so cool to see remakes. Like, I know that the games still function right now and all that, but at the same time, it's like, it could use a good 3D revamp. Like, I'd love to see, like, the classic stuff in there. You know what I mean? Like the classic stuff but rebooted. Because I mean, Diamond was my very first Pokemon game ever. And to see it in a newer, like, better format. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to handle it, but still it'd be awesome. Like, straight up. One thing I know they gotta do if they make, if like the remakes are confirmed, they better And I know a lot of people are like, the competition stuff. They'd better not leave anything out, including the competitions. Because a lot of people are probably like, the competitions are pointless, or like, the competitions are boring. But listen. Listen to me. I like the competitions. They don't have a real purpose. Not really. But they're fun. And they're interesting. And it was like the only time they did something like that in a Pokemon game. I think. I don't mind if they drop Amity Square though, because like, it's like, oh, you can walk with your Pokemon, but only these specific ones. It's kind of stupid. But even then, they should leave it in. Like, they shouldn't purposely take anything out. Like, even me personally, with me, like, oh, they could take this out and I wouldn't be mad about it. But anything else, I mean, like, no. Like, even then, they better not. Would I get mad personally if they took out Amity Square? No. Would it be kind of bad on principle? Yes. Because it's like, you're gonna, well, if you take that out, and you take other stuff out. Ew. Just ew. And it might sound pretty hypocritical of me, which, I mean, it is, but... Because, I mean, 2 seconds ago I was like, don't leave anything out. But if you do, it doesn't matter. But it does. That's just me being personally picky. Like, even in the original games, Amity Square, although I guess it was essential for competitions, so... eh. Although I imagine there would be a lot of, like, technical problems with having Pokemon walk out with you and have them be 3D in that space, especially if it's like, oh god, if they ever did Heart Gold remakes, I know they're already remakes, but if they ever did that, like, revamped Heart Gold and Soul Silver, trying to get the mechanics to work on that, ugh. In a new 3D space, with, like, huge Pokemon that would have to be to scale now, yikes. That would probably be a developer's nightmare. I don't know how bird claws work, as you can probably tell. Like, this is actually gross. Like, I don't know what this is, but I'm leaving it alone. Because it's fine. It's fine. There we go. Alright, it's not too bad. This doesn't line up. Hold on. This doesn't line up at all. What happened here? Kind of better. Alright. Now we just gotta get the ribbon tail and then we're good. Cool. Alright, now we're only down to a few minor adjustments and then we're good for coloring. See, this just makes me miss playing Pokemon games with these Pokemon specifically. Because I used to have these Pokemon, but they didn't transfer over into my newer games. Probably because I hacked them in. When I was younger, I had a... Well, actually, no, it wasn't mine. My dad had a action replay. So I hacked in a bunch of shinies and like legendaries and stuff that I would catch, and then use a bunch of rare candies that I also hacked in to get it to level 100. This was one of them. This Articuno, and the Giratina was another. And I didn't give them good moves, but I honestly miss having like big beefy legendaries to play with. Like just to mess around. Like just to go off and like murder a bunch of stuff. Or to like have battles with my cousins. I miss battling my cousins. I don't even know if they have the games anymore. And that's really sad. But I don't think they do. Or if they do, they don't play them. And Wi-Fi doesn't work anymore, so you can't even have battles with Wi-Fi connection anymore on the old DS's. Which is really upsetting. Because I miss having like going over to my aunt and uncle's house basically just to have us sit down and be like, alright, we're gonna fight each other again, let's see who wins, who loses. The secret was it was mostly me who won because of those hacked Pokemon, but still, I'd like to genuinely go back and have like not sucky legendaries that I could use. See if I still hold up or could do better. This, you know what, actually, this really makes me want to go back through X and Y, because that's where most of the stuff that did transfer out went, and like, just look and see what I have. Because I know a few of like the hacked in stuff that I had went through. Like I had an Infernape that I actually no, I carried that through Diamond. Not my very first Infernape, because that got released, but like my very second Infernape ever. I made sure he got through to the newer games. I don't know how to get him into Sword and Shield. They haven't gotten to, like, far enough into Sword and Shield, really, to do anything with them in, like, trading sense. So I don't want to put anything in like that until I've beaten the game. Which I haven't yet. So it's not gonna happen. Not yet. But once I do, like 3 years from now it feels, but once I do, I'm gonna figure out how to transfer stuff over. I feel like there's a lot off with these colors, even though I color selected from the screenshot itself. It's fine. I think we're gonna end the stream prematurely. I feel less motivated now. So yeah, sorry this is being cut off literally in the middle of a drawing, but I don't know. I lost all of my mojo once I gave up on Giratina, basically, so yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry this was kind of boring and painful, probably, to watch. But yeah. Bye.